Turning to Decision 2016 now, where the doors are now open at the Waukesha County Expo Center.
That is where Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump will rally tonight. Charles Benson live there at the Expo Center as the crowd begins to fill in behind him. Charles has a look ahead at what's to come tonight. Charles?
Well, Donald Trump expected here in a couple of hours. Waukesha is known as friendly turf for Republicans. In fact, let me take you to a live picture outside the Waukesha County Expo right now. This is from Chopper 4. And you can see that there's a long line of people waiting to get in. I'm told they issued about 7,000 tickets. This place only holds about 1,500, so not everyone will be able to get in. Waukesha, very important for Donald Trump because it is a place where he's expected to win, but it's not a place where he won in the April primary. So let's talk about that. Let's bring in our A-team political panel. We have Democratic strategist Joe Sapecki, a former state communications director for President Obama, and Stephen Thompson, a Republican strategist and Governor Walker advisor. Gentlemen, let me draw your attention to Donald Trump. This is his third visit to Wisconsin, but let's look at what he might be saying tonight about Hillary Clinton. During the debate and on the campaign trail yesterday, he said this about her 30-year record.
It's been 30 years of disappointments on foreign policy, on domestic policy, on helping women, on helping children. She's done nothing.
So, Stephen, let me begin with you. Will this be a winning strategy for Donald Trump?
Well, Donald Trump's making the calculation that as an outsider, he's going to try to contrast that with Hillary Clinton, who's a political insider, who's been around, and there's so much disappointment in Washington and not making any progress. The problem is Donald Trump needs to find the balance in being an outsider, but also trying to portray himself as somebody who has a command and understanding of the issues. He didn't do that on Monday night at the debate.
Joe, what do you think of this? Is she ready to defend her record?
Well, of course she is. And once again, just like we saw over and over again during the debate on Monday night, Mr. Trump is just lying, brokering a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, expanding health insurance to 8 million children. She has a long career and a very accomplished career, and because of that experience, she is more qualified than almost any nominee in American history. And folks saw that clear difference between the two candidates on Monday night.
So let's talk about Hillary Clinton. She's hitting Trump hard for not releasing his tax returns. She hinted why he won't during the debate yesterday, as well as on the campaign trail.
He probably hasn't paid a penny to support our troops or our vets or our schools or our health care systems.
So, Joe, we know this issue has been out there. Does she win some scoring points by talking about his taxes, which he says he won't release?
Absolutely. If you looked at some of the focus groups that were held during the debate on Monday night, undecided voters all over the country, audible gasps when Trump did not deny that he has not paid any federal income tax. That is shocking to ordinary Americans who work hard, play by the rules, and pay their taxes. Listen, those of us who have been doing this know that that's a pretty easy charge to answer and get onto fair ground, better ground for, talk about the tax system. Any Republican worth their salt would know to do that. Trump doesn't because he's not qualified. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Stephen, we've seen over the last 40 years that most major presidential nominees do release their tax returns. How's he going to get over this?
Well, he clearly hasn't learned the lessons of Mitt Romney's campaign. Barack Obama portrayed him as an out-of-touch billionaire, and Mitt Romney didn't do enough to personalize the things that he had done with his money, the jobs that he had created, the people's lives that were made better because of those jobs. Donald Trump could probably find some of those examples. He could be more transparent. He's not, and I think it's going to cost him.
All right, guys, let's take a final look here at the horse race. Clinton remains in the lead in the last 3 polls. She's up in the Emerson poll by 7, the Marquette poll by 2, the Monmouth poll by 5. Guys, take me inside the campaigns in October. When you see numbers like that, are people pretty much locked in and you can't move the numbers, Joe?
It's not about locked in. It's about running through the finish line. Right now, we have people in Milwaukee already early voting, and the stakes in this election are so clear that the Hillary Clinton campaign and outside groups who are supporting her are making sure now that they're mobilizing their voters and getting them to the polls. At this point, the polls are almost meaningless because it's about turning out your voters.
Stephen, can he move the numbers?
Well, at this point in the race, clearly we're seeing one of the most volatile campaigns we've seen, if not ever. But Donald Trump has narrowed the gap, but he needs to, at some point, start surpassing her. Otherwise, at this point in time, we like to look at trend lines. And he trended up closer to her towards the debate. He hasn't started to pull away really anywhere yet.
All right, Stephen and Joe, we appreciate your insight as always. And for Steve and Shannon, just to let you know, we'll be out here throughout the evening. We expect Donald Trump here around 6 o'clock and to begin speaking sometime around that hour. For now, we're live in Waukesha. Charles Benson, today's TMJ4.
Nice job talking over the rock and roll strains of Sir Elton John there, Charles Benson. Thanks so much for that.